Good afternoon. What is a warm, bright and sunny day. It is Sunday the 9th of April. I've got a nice hot cup of tea and parcel to continue unboxing. I pulled out a few things from here so far. Woodfall, which is a dark mini fantasy setting from the Lazy Lich, and followed it up with Willow, which is another location booklet, and now we're going to go. Go to the Haunted Hamlet. So what we've got here is actually several things. So we'll look at those in a moment. So essentially, we open up. It's there we go. It's the Haunted Hamlet and other hexes. You open up, and you've got a series of tables devoted to random treasures, weather conditions, encounter seeds, night and day. And this is you're kind of going, well, what's this all about? After the Dark Lord was defeated 5 years ago, a number of his minions chose to reform their ways and become pacifists. They formed a small settlement called Orgul, and since then others with violent backgrounds have flocked to seek a new way of life. All folk are welcomed and can build a house here. The most common creatures are goblins, orcs, hobgoblins, Rat King and Bat King. The leader of the town is a werewolf named Phaelad, who was previously a lieutenant in the Dark Lord's army. So we've got a location on the back as well. And then we actually get to an intro in here. So we just look down, what is this? Just take its time to get going. This zine contains 4 locations, scenarios for use with pen and paper role-playing games. The locations focus on gameable content and being easy to use at the table. The locations are not connected to one another and can be sprinkled onto your campaign map however you like, or run as one-shots. This zine is made for old-school essentials rule system, but can easily be converted to many other TTRPG systems. And we've got a set of guidelines there on play style, which players will be setting their own goals rather than following a narrative. Players don't receive very little experience or no experience points for killing monsters, instead gaining experience for finding treasure, making discoveries, completing objectives they create for themselves or accept from NPCs. Monsters are not balanced per player level, and so on. And we've got like an overview of the area. Again, it's quite dark. But yeah, so what you've got here is an anthology of locations which you can drop into your campaign map and use as suggested. And I really have enjoyed these location books so far. They've been interesting, inventive, quirky, and so on, and being written for old school essentials, necrotic gnomes, modern updating of basic Dungeons and Dragons, BX Dungeons and Dragons from the Moldvay version from 1981. They're really very accessible and really easy to adapt to other settings and rule systems, or variations upon, Dungeons and Dragons. So we start off. We have a gold mine. And it's nice, and I like the fact that, okay, it's done topographically. You look at that and you go, okay, you could literally pick that up and slot that into a hex on your map if it had had an open slot. It's giving that idea. Quick overview. We have the militia, some stats down below. Then we have a view of the upper mines, location descriptions opposite. Yeah, and then the lower mines. See, you work your way down 2 halves. That's a nice way of separating it. Just simple use of coloured background or shaded background. And then we go further down. We've got the Antkin mines, and we're going further and further down, and it's getting darker and darker to the overdark. That's really a clever use of great layout and graphics. And another location, the Ladder Inn, and it has a strange ladder there going down into the lake. Full description of the building itself, done in nice cutaway, and then a timetable of we've got NPCs, the timetable of events at the inn, ladder rumours about what it is at the base of the ladder. And if the same example, and then you've got to say, see if it does it the same for the mine. I don't think it So the mine does give you a timeline of events by weeks and hooks there. But what the ladder inn does is, if the players do this, then this will happen. So if they steal from the inn, for example, the stranger will track the players and steal the valuables back at night using an invisibility potion. So you've got several options there, depending upon what the player characters do. And then, of course, it goes down to the bottom of the ladder. So you've got this sort of sense of magical realism to the location. Going further down, and then we have the Hat Cult's hideout, which includes rumours and random magic character generator, with basing it on a template there. And then once inside, there's the entrance. Then you've got the full layout sort of swirling its way down. So you've got like a mini dungeon there, ruined buildings beneath to explore. And then the Hat Cult leader, new recruits, cultist stats that you'll need, and again, what happens if the players do join the cult? Then the PCs will be sent to capture increasingly dangerous monsters, eventually receiving their magical hat. Break the device, this cult will become depressed to disband. Our captured will be brought to the cave and prepared for fusion, and so on. And then you've got notes on things like magical headwear, magical items, what's going on right now, timeline of events. The cult starts with 5 members and it's growing and growing. So you've got an inn you can stop at, you've got a mine to raid or protect and explore. You've got a cult to deal with that's spreading its influence over the area. You've got like a nice overview of the area, sort of like almost like renting. It's not chaos, but it's something quite disturbing about that image. And then the Haunted Hamlet. So here we've got advice on running the scenario, description of the location, quick reference to steps the players need to escape once they get caught, if it's caught in its environs, timetable events. Oh, and I'm being visited by the cat who's not ours. Deign to make a visit, and we've got a description of the locations: the priest's house, the smith's house, the wizard's house, and the lord's house, priest's church, and the wizard's tower. All locations player characters will doubtless visit in exploring the hamlet, a smith's forge, and the lord's town hall. Hordes of skeletons, so it's populated by undead and random spooky things. And then you've got Orgel on the back as another location, and the extras in here include so essentially you have that image there that's basically in the middle here. So you've actually got an image there of the sort of what's at the bottom of the ladder, but later on you have this image here. So you have that provided sort of like as a handout, as a view, with some NPCs and hirelings on the back, so detailing them. You've got these more reference cards, another NPC with the heartstring knight there to be encountered. Basically image and full stats there, so they've got the image, then the full stats on the back. Then these are the Spore Squad. Sorry, my one complaint is is the way they're flipped. So you've got the Spore Squad there, and then you turn them over and that's upside down, and you're kind of going, yeah, that's a little awkward, I would say. Below that you've got this image reprinted again for benefit for the players, the handouts, and a random NPC generator on the back, and the Sky Merchant and the Sky Rig, including normal black market items and magical items which he has for sale. So you've got that floating over the area for the players to encounter you've got quite a lot there going on, and to keep the players and their characters busy in and around the Haunted Hamlet. So you can sort of like build up a vague mini crawl of locations and adventures, and sort of like work them together if you wanted to, but keep them separate. It's up to you, but that's a nice little quartet of locations to explore and adventure in. So yeah, that's the Haunted Hamlet by the Lazy Lich. Anyway, if you've enjoyed this unboxing in the Nook, then please do click on the like button down below. And if you've got any comments or feedback, I do appreciate you taking the time to post those. And lastly, if you want to be alerted to yet more unboxings in the Nook, where you'll see me out here with a package containing a book or game, in this case some fanzines, which I will then unbox and chat about to the best extent of my knowledge for roughly 10 minutes or so, all of course accompanied by a nice hot cup of tea. Then please do hit the subscribe button down below. Thanks again for watching. Be back again soon with another unboxing in the Nook. Bye for now.